Let's try this again. I have tried to film this like over 10 times now. Hey guys, I'm Amaya. Welcome back to my channel. If you saw my last video, then you already know that for the next 10 days I'm going to be doing kind of like a video series of I guess just different types of mental illnesses and how I struggle with each of them, how they affect me. I also want to let you guys know that on the 10th day that I do my videos, the 10th video is going to be a Q&A. So throughout any of these videos, if you have any questions that you want to ask me regarding my personal experiences or mental health in general, go ahead, drop those questions below. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 anxiety disorders that I know of. Generalized anxiety disorder, which is actually the one that we're really talking about today. Panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. I have the generalized GAD, I also have OCD and PTSD. The main one, like I said, that I'm talking about today is just GAD, yeah. I have actually a list of things written down to make sure that I don't forget anything. I dropped out of high school, so I really don't know shit besides what I've looked up myself and researched. So there's probably just stuff that I've missed. But most of this is just stuff that I experience myself or that I know from other people around me who have anxiety disorders. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to be doing a voiceover, and I have prepared some old footage of the woods that I go on walks in for you guys so you're not staring at a blank screen. Let's just jump into symptoms of anxiety. Please remember that there are more than what I'm listing, and not everyone will have the same symptoms. So someone with anxiety may not have the same symptoms that you have if you also have anxiety. So symptoms include but are not limited to trembling, increased breathing rates, feeling nervous or powerless, having a sense of impending danger or panic, high heart rate, sweating, fatigue, restlessness, trouble concentrating, and muscle tension as well. Up to 40 million adults are affected by an anxiety disorder. That doesn't necessarily mean specifically GAD. It could be any of the 5. Or risk factors for anxiety: childhood shyness, family history of mental disorders, being female, financial difficulties, stressful events in childhood and adulthood, and anxiety disorders in close relatives. You could have several of these risk factors. Okay, so I do want to go back where I said being female is a risk factor. Anyone can have anxiety. The statistics are that women have higher rates of lifetime diagnosis, and that was based on a 1994 NCS survey. So men and women can both get anxiety, but the statistics for women are that they have higher rates of lifetime diagnosis, as well as women with anxiety are more likely to be diagnosed with another anxiety disorder, eating disorder, or depression. And ironically, I happen to have all 3. And then also, women are more disabled by anxiety symptoms, resulting in more trips to the ER or a specialist or hospitalization. Women and men, however, with anxiety disorders miss a similar amount of work. So now I'm going to talk about how I cope with anxiety, and just kind of give you guys like a list of ways, if you struggle with anxiety, how you can cope. And then after that, I will get into treatments. So a list of things that you can do to cope with your anxiety. This is going to be a very basic and generalized list. Color or paint, breathing exercises, listen to calming music, meditate, say some positive affirmations to yourself. Write in a journal, write some poetry, lessen your caffeine intake. I'm really bad at that. I drink a lot of coffee, which probably explains why my anxiety is so high. fidget spinner or a stress ball or one of the stress management toys that they have. Take a nature walk, take a hot bath or shower, do some yoga, or even do some grounding exercises, which I'll get into in just a moment. And another thing before I forget is going to be essential oils, as in aromatherapy. I have an aromatherapy diffuser in my room, and I always use the lavender essential oil before I get ready to go to bed. And this is just a generic picture of an essential oil diffuser that I found. I got mine for about $20 at Walmart, so you can get them for pretty cheap, depending on just where you look. So now I want to get into grounding exercises. This is something that I've been using for quite a while to help ground myself when I feel like my emotions are all over the place and I'm about to have an anxiety attack. I just try to focus on my breathing. And then I tell myself out loud 5 things I see, 4 things I feel physically, 3 things that I hear, 2 things I smell, and 1 thing that I taste. The whole reason behind this is because you're telling your mind to focus on something that's not what you are anxious about. When my friends are going through a really bad anxiety or having an anxiety attack, I always tell them to do this exercise because I feel like it really does help. You are training your mind to be grounded, and hence why it's called a grounding exercise, because you're bringing your main focus back to reality, since anxiety is often based off of irrationality and fear. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is treatments, and then after that I'm going to talk about skin picking for just a little bit. So the 4 types of treatments that you can get is cognitive therapy, support groups, stress management, and medication. Really, I only take medication. I practice my mindfulness and I practice grounding exercises, and that's really all I do to manage my anxiety. So the last thing that I wanted to kind of touch base on in this video is going to be dermatillomania. Dermatillomania is a compulsive skin picking disorder. Dermatillomania is associated with poor coping skills, obsessive and compulsive thoughts, too little or too much stimulation, and sometimes abuse. Often dermatillomania is associated with body dysmorphic disorder. Anxiety and depression are often related. So no one really knows what exactly causes it, but anxiety is definitely, it plays a huge role in skin picking. I do this a lot, and more so when I was younger. I've kind of stopped most of it for the most part, but I still occasionally do find myself when I have bad anxiety, I do start picking, and that might be gross to some people, but to someone who has anxiety, like for myself at least, it's very soothing almost. It's again like some people might use a stress ball. I just pick my skin. So that is pretty much everything that I have so far for anxiety disorders. If you guys enjoyed this video, if this helped you in any way, please give this a thumbs up so I know that I'm on the right track going somewhere with these mental health videos. And also be sure to leave any questions that you may have for my Q&A below in the comments, and also subscribe if you want to get notified for the next time that I upload. I'm going to go ahead and close this video now, but thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.